My name is Liz Gruber, and I was diagnosed in June of 1999.
Tell me a little bit about what you learned about yourself through the treatment process.
Well, I think I have always been a very self-reliant person, and I pretty much have done things, I've relied upon myself to do things and achieve things in my life. And I think one of the important things I learned during my treatment was that you don't need to go through it alone. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. But that really, if you let people help you, that can be a wonderful, wonderful benefit. I think that for me, and I'm a mother of 3 children, and I'm married with a wonderful husband, I think that I immediately thought of my children, as I think most mothers would, and thought about whether I would be alive to watch them grow up. And I think it was just hard wondering about how this was going to affect them. I got resources from Dana-Farber. There was like a little kit that had journals and stuffed animals for the kids, and I took advantage of some of those kinds of tools. And I just tried to talk with them as much as possible about what they were going to see, about the fact that I was going to be bald, which was very upsetting to all of them, and but that I was going to get through it. And we talked about it, and they seemed to adjust pretty well. As long as I wore my wig and I didn't look too sick, I think they were fine. But the interesting thing about that now, as I look back, 8 years later, is that I was so worried at the time about the effect this would have on them. And yet I've had conversations with my daughters recently, and they really don't remember that much about that time.
Are there things that you feel that you can do today that you would never have contemplated before?
That's a good question. Yeah, I do. I mean, I think I'm braver in a lot of ways. So I think I could probably try things today that I wouldn't have tried before. I'm not sure what I can really use as an example. I mean, I did actually, 5 years after my diagnosis, I did actually run in the Boston Marathon twice, and I raised a lot of money, and I really did it to raise the money and to serve as sort of a vehicle for doing that. And that was an amazing experience for me. And I think that not so much the running of the marathon, but really the reaching out to other people for their support, and the support that came pouring back to me was remarkable. Well, I think being diagnosed is the worst time that it gets. I don't think it ever gets worse than that. So I think it once you decide on your treatment options, it's all better after that, because then you're able to do something about what's happened to you. And I think that sounds cliched, but I think that having cancer really can make you a better person, and that you will have just a much deeper appreciation of your life. So.